Hello traders, how we doing today? This is just going to be a short intro to what you get when you buy the starter package. And of course with the starter package, remember you have your choice of any of our TS's with it for the same price. Basically what you will be getting will be getting the dashboard, which looks like this, will be the full dashboard. And you'll be getting one of the TS's of your choice. Now let's see, the first one which you can choose would be the HAS. Now remember, this one here uses the HAS moving average. You can use it either as a color change to signal a trade or direction, which would signal a trade anywhere along a line depending on the color. In this case it's red. And as you can see down here, we got the breakout lines, which it uses the last low breakout or the last high breakout. And in this case, because we are in a downtrend, we'd only be looking for a breakout of the downtrend breakout lines, which would be the lower one, which is the red one. And as you can see, we did break through it here. And just do a short look at the settings here. These are the default settings. In this particular case, the HAS is the 28212. You can use whatever you want. The breakout line, now you do have your choice. In this case, the default is 2 pips, so when this breaks out by 2 pips, it will take the trade. Or you can use the candle close, which means it has to wait for this candle to break out through the line and close. Then when the next candle opens, it will take the trade. So you have your choice there. So basically that's the HAS is one of your choices. It's a very consistent running one. As long as you don't get greedy, it tries to capture the longer trends. So if you try to shorten up the HAS too short, remember you're going to get a lot of whipsawing in and out. But that's basically how that one works. Okay, now this one is the DMARC breakout lines, and it has the subdems on here, but they are not used. They are mainly for you to look at and see if you agree to take the breakout if you're using it in the alert mode. And as you can see here, we do have a breakout of the lower DMARC line. So you have your choice here also of whether to wait for the candle to close below the line or take it with a buffer. And in this case, you would have gotten in, say if you got in over here, and right now it would have went down to 104 pips minus your buffer. So you're talking somewhere around 102 pips would have been your take profit on that. Of course, remember, this all depends on how you have your take profits and your stop losses set up. And in this case, you would have looked at this. If you were using the alert mode, it would have given you the opportunity to look at it before you entered it. And then all you had to do is just click the alert button, turn alerts off, and it would have jumped in for you. Or you could have let it run full automatic like any of our TS's. And just check on them every once in a while. And in this case, you would have looked at it and you would have seen this supply zone that had formed. It probably wouldn't have formed yet, because usually these supply zones take like 3 closed candles, so it wouldn't have formed until this candle here probably closed. So when you looked at this, you would have probably seen this supply zone here would have been here at the present time, and then you would have made your determination. Since you're only about halfway to the demand zone down here, you could have decided, do I take this trade or leave it alone? So that's another one of your choices. That's the DMARC lines, breakout lines with the subdems on there, just for you to look at. They're not being used by the TS in this particular one. I'm going to do this one first. This is just the plain subdem TS. This one uses the supply and the demand zones to determine when to take a trade. And at this particular time, we do have a signal. We would have a signal to take a trade in the short direction. It always looks at the freshest, the latest, either supply zone or demand zone. You can see this demand zone is not fresh because it's way back over here where it was fresh. So this is our freshest zone, and it's giving us a signal right now to take the short. We'd be getting a short signal, and this does have automatic take profit stop losses in it. Automatically puts a stop loss up here, and the take profit you can set for whatever you want. Generally 50% is a good point, or less, whatever you want to do. And remember, once this opens up and the stop loss and the take profit lines are put on there, if they're put on automatically, you can always double click them and move them. So once you go into profit, you can always double click your stop loss line and move it down, get a little closer. And this one here, before the trade opens, it always looks at the risk reward, which you have set back in the settings. In this case, the default is 1, and you can see the risk reward is 1.83, so we got almost a 2-to-1 reward to the risk. And the risk is always figured from your entry point. In this case, what we'd be looking at is the risk would be 46 pips, 45, see it tells you right here, 45 pips, and the reward is, right now is about 82, 83. That's what we got set, as we got the take profit point set at 50% of the distance between the bottom of the supply zone and the top of the demand zone. So it tells you right here what they are, and it tells you what your risk reward is, so you know you're meeting it. So you'd be entering a trade right now if this was a live day the market was open, but it is not, so we're not even attempting to take a trade. Okay, that's the just the plain supply demand zone TS. And this one here is the one we started to show. Now this is the supply zone demand breakout, I call it. This uses the demarc breakout lines, and for confirmation it uses the supply and demand zones. And as you can see, we were past it right now. We would have missed it, but we would have gotten a signal when it broke out through the lines. Now the other one is the this one just basically uses the supply and demand zones for confirmation for the breakout of the demarc. But in this case, I'm sorry, I misled you a little bit there. You would, let's see here, 1, 2, this would have been third one. This one would not actually have taken this trade because this zone would not have been there yet. So it just depends on if there was another zone present here that we would have been into. Because see, it usually takes like 3 closed candles before this zone will pop up. And so that would have been at the open of this one here. And as you can see, we're already past our entry, because our entry would have been back in here according to the demarc line. So we probably would have missed this one. It just depends on where this was located previously, you know. So just missed that one. But that's basically how it works. Okay, so that's those. Let's see what we got left. All we got left is the Renko. You got your choice of Renko. Renko just looks for a breakout of an upper or lower breakout line. And as you can see here, it once it breaks this line, it waits for a candle to close, and we would have probably been in down around here. Now this one we do have set for, this takes 2 charts, remember. You got your M1 chart, and we do have it set for 10 pips. Just have to realize that sometimes it may not register quite right up here. It does some rounding when it measures these candles, and this may not be exact. But this is a 10 pip brick. So this is the wrinkle, and in this case you would have got in probably about in here, and you'd be up 20 pips. Okay, so that about covers it. That's the choices of the different TSs you can get. And remember, you can go over to the website and you can download any of these to give them a test drive. Just go to the website, and this is the seller9.net website, and just click on the, here it says free 30-day trial on any of our software. Just click to read more, and it'll take you to this page, and here it tells you something about the 30-day test drive. And remember, if you download any of these, be sure to also download the accessory files and put them in their proper place. There's a couple scripts, and there is also the there's a couple other things in here too. There's some templates, things like that. Put them all into the proper folder. The scripts you will need to make the dashboard work properly. Otherwise, some of the buttons will not function properly. But you can download the dashboard free for 30 days. Give it a try. This is a fully functional dashboard. Nothing's been eliminated. And there's just a little short video here on it. But what you want to do is to really know how to use the dashboard is to go back to the videos page and download and look at some of the videos over there. But download the dashboard, you'll need that. You'll need one of the TSs. You can download any TS, or all of them if you want to give them all a try, see what they do for you, and be sure to download the accessory file. And like I say, go back to the videos over here, and here you'll see a bunch of, there's quite a few of them telling you how to use the dashboard. You may want to look over those before you just dive in there. And also there's a short one here on how to set up your MT4. There are certain ways you should set that up to get it to work properly. And there's a few videos on the different TSs, and we'll be getting to those later on, adding more to them. And over here, they've got one video right now. We'll be adding more over here. It kind of gives you how they work in the real world. Right now, I just got one video here. We'll be putting up some more. So, but check out the page, see what you think. If you have a few questions, here's a few answers for some of them. So give them a try. It doesn't cost you anything to download them, and give them a try. And also remember, if I do offer a coding service, that if any of you have a great idea that's worked for you, a trading system, something that's simple. I don't like trading systems that's got a whole chart full of indicators. One or two indicators is fine, but when you start piling on more indicators, it just doesn't work. So if you've got a good trading system that works for you, we could code it up for you and make it into a TS. Everything, of course, we make it as a TS, and it will only work with the dashboard. So you do have to have the dashboard to work. I do not write standalone EAs anymore. I basically just write TSs for the dashboard to use it. And that way your trading system, if it works, can trade all 28 pairs or just one pair, whatever you want to do. Pick and choose. That way you don't have to sit there and watch it all day. Sometimes people design a real nice trading system, but it requires a bunch of time of sitting in front of the computer and waiting for a signal And they can only trade maybe 2, 3, 4 pairs at a time because you can't possibly watch all 28. Well, with the dashboard, you could watch all 28. But we do require, if you have a system that you want to try as a TS, I do require just exactly how it works and screenshots to show me. You just can't give me a one-liner and expect me to design something around it. I want to see it. I also want to know that it's got history behind it where it does work. And it's not one of those things where it's you hope it works or maybe it'll buy or maybe it'll sell. It's these TSs follow straight rules. They do not have a crystal ball either. So, okay, so that's about it. Hope this wasn't too long. Catch you later.